Howdy, all of you in cyberspace. Thank you for joining me today. We'll be talking about the Radjabov Magnus Carlsen game from the Crypto Cup. It was quite exciting. Let's see which one this is. Can you tell? I might be covering a couple, just in case you wanted to see them. And here we go. Well, let's see. We've seen this opening before. Can you tell which opening this is? See, this is the crucial right here opening. And this is called The Queen's Gambit. Remember, the name of the movie, The Queen's Gambit, is been quite popular. It has allowed us to be on the forefront of other people's minds during this pandemic of 2020, 2021 continuing, where people were stuck at home and discovered the game of chess again, another rediscovery. So again, now we're going into crypto. Crypto, again, cryptocurrency. A lot of people know something about it, a lot of people don't. It's really very interesting. It's a new technology and includes blockchain. So it's interesting that they are sponsoring this type of tournament, which is good. Any influencers out there support chess because it's a sport that doesn't receive the kind of recognition it needs. But anyway, especially the amount that it can help people think, old or young. I mean, kindergartens have played it, and 90-year-olds have played it. So it's really a game that any age group can play, and it can bring generations together. What else? It's a win-win situation to bring generations together, especially in the world we are living in today. Okay, so what will it be? Queen's Gambit accepted or declined? Let's check. It's declined because the pawn did not take the pawn. And so this is normal development. Okay, we continue. So you attack here, I attack here. So kind of like a wild, wild west standstill. Let's see what's next. Take, and check. Quite fast. We are only on move 7. So we are going quite fast here. I mean, I'm going fast. This takes a little bit longer, but still, the movement of activity is quite fast in this game. And then we block with the knight. We move up the pawn to support this pawn, which is now being attacked. 1, 2, at least 2 times. All right, so 2 defenders. And now we have to have at least 1 defender here to support this pawn that was by itself. Now it's supported by another pawn, which creates a pawn chain, as you can see. Anyway, we continue. We castle there. So this is white is Radjabov and black is Magnus Carlsen. So we have castling. Okay, we move up to protect this knight from this bishop. So he's just improving moves of protection. We have now the queen moving over. And it's trying to wedge itself in right here. Kind of wedge itself, but not yet. Obviously, this square is protected by this bishop. And it can't go here because it's protected. So it's kind of like a waiting move with staring over here. If this bishop moves, we're going to have an unprotected pawn. Bishops have to develop. So we'll see. So there's a plan with every move. But this is the critical move, according to Radjabov. Magnus was not expecting this move. H4. At this move, he thought quite a bit what to do afterwards. So it's kind of destabilizing things when you see something that you didn't expect. And Radjabov admitted after the interview that he had prepared this and was going to use it at one of the higher level games here. And he decided to use this H4 unexpected move at on move 10. And that's took Magnus Carlsen a little bit taken aback with this move, and he was thinking for a while what to do. So that's what we gotta do. We have some sort of novel moves. As you can see in the live book, says there are only 2 games like this. We can look them up. It's always good to have a chess engine review games. Obviously, people at this top level review games, check games, look at old. I mean, there's a lot of review of old games mingled with what the engines would say. So it seems that this was the unexpected move. A little tiny h4 mana. Why is that good? Well, let's continue here. Afterwards, Magnus moved his rook. Then do you see how now we're attacking the queen? So where's the queen going to go? Can it go here to g5? Can it go to g4? All right, it cannot go here. So like we're limiting the movement of the queen a little bit. So how will Magnus react? He just moved it over to get it obviously out of the way. Now he's attacking here, but it's being protected. And this allowed to free, this h4 move has allowed to attack the queen and be on the attack here with also developing the h-pawn rook, taking over the 4th rank. So this supposedly is the wrong move, what would be considered a blunder. And this e5 move by Magnus and you only need one move that's a erroneous move, just one. At any level, but especially the highest level, if you give your opponent just an inch, they'll take the arm. And so this move basically was the ripping factor for Magnus. After things were going downhill for him after this move. Okay. Why? Because he didn't foresee the gravity of this situation where the rook can be attacking the bishop. Okay, so bishop's gone. All right, so now do you see how that one move? And it was an interesting interview afterwards. I think it was coming like a joke, but he didn't come back on. He didn't want to talk. So the commentators asked him what happened. Magnus, he said, I made a blunder. Radjabov played very well, and then he just shut off his camera. So I guess it's better to do it that way than to be irate and keep saying things. Who knows? Whichever way, that was not really a nice way to show such a move. And but anyway, Magnus has done quite well in other games too. He is the champion, and you do win some and you do lose some, and that's part of life. And that is very interesting that Radjabov was able to clinch this with this unknown almost h4 move. Okay, so we continue. We are now attacking the king. We're on the attack. Momentum is being kept up. So we have a reactionary chess at this point. Things are stacking up against Magnus. Okay, he did agree to a queen, which I think sometimes, it's easy. It'd be much more fun to see the queen stay on the board to see how much more, because it's a lot more tension. Sometimes you want to have less tension, and you just get rid of, especially if there's little time on the clock. So maybe these 15 minute games, it's easier to deal with less on the board because you less to think about. That's why over the boards chess can take hours and hours, because who knows if you want to be giving up your queen when you're so close and you have so many other pieces against the other king, the black king in this case. But no, Radjabov gave up the queen. And let's now see what kind of material we have. The pawns become more and more important in the end game, and when there are no queens left. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that one pawn difference. Be careful when you lose those pawns, because if it's going to be without queens and you're going to be in endgame with a pawn endgame, the number of pawns do matter. Yes, pawns do matter, especially in the endgame. Okay, so here we continue. A knight move, moving back. Just repositioning, biding for time. You see how there was an attack on the rook. So slowly we're moving up these pawns, these path pawns. When in doubt, move a pawn. But they say when you move a pawn, that leaves a weakness behind. Because the pawn can never move back. So what you've left behind is something to consider. Is that going to weaken your overall position, your strategy, or is that going to improve? Notice when you move a pawn, you can never take it back. And what kind of square is it going to be? Is it going to be a weakened position? A lot of times it is. Okay, we move the king, move the king. Okay, we continue. Radjabov continues moving with the pawns. Okay, so now we have to think about how fast is Magnus going to want to convert this a pawn. Radjabov did not choose to go here right now. Let's go back. Okay, he chose to move to the open file because it's right there too. But then you have to figure out what's the counterattack, because it seems easy. One move here and you basically almost have a checkmate. But if Magnus can create some more problems in the interim for Radjabov, that's not going to be as easy. And let's see what happens next. Okay, he does create some problems. He protects with the bishop there and attacking this bishop, but this can take. He can take this bishop, but then he will lose the power of the bishop being here protecting these squares. So which one is going to be? So we are being, so we still we are attacking the bishop. The king moves closer so that whoever takes can be moved out of the way. Okay, so we continue squishing in the black position. So Radjabov usually decides to go after the a pawn. Okay, even more simplification of the position. Now it's about trying to see who's gonna be able to move their pass pawns faster. So we have knights here still on the board, and the rooks. 3 pawns against 2. Now 3 pawns against 1. Things are not improving for Magnus here. It's a slow demise. You have to have extreme patience in chess, especially in the endgame. Especially if you're low on time, you have to keep a cool head. Okay, this was an interesting move. I'm coming from the bank rank, trying to see what can be done, because we are positioning the pawn and the knight there. try to squeeze. It's a little surprise move, but let's see how Radjabov handles it. Well, he goes and decides to give up the rooks, looks like. And he did. So it's even less. Minimize, minimize. Minimize as much as, that's the style. It seems of Radjabov, he wants to get rid and minimize as possible, as soon as possible here. Okay. And this is where Magnus chose to resign. So this was the game. Radjabov was quite happy. Obviously, Magnus was not. But this is how it went. This is how it rolls in the Crypto Cup. Wesley So against Nepo also won there. Lots of draws, but he did get a win today, May 28th, 2021. And so this is the knockout round. We shall see what happens tomorrow. I'll give you a couple more games Hikaru Magnus played yesterday, which would have been the 27th of May. And so all kind of interesting stuff going on. Very, very, very top level players. And learn from them. Learn especially the nerves of steel. You have to have nerves of steel and never ever give up. So this is how this part of the tournament ended. Crypto Cup between Radjabov and Magnus. Radjabov, as you can see, won because there's high chance that one of his 3 pawns are going to convert. So pawn games are crucial as far as how many you have left at the end and how well you can maneuver to reach promotion. Alrighty, that was the game between Radjabov and Magnus that I brought to you today. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon. Au revoir.